My name is Linda Melvin, and I know we have spent some time together before doing some fluid watercolors. We have used the Delusions, the Radiance, the Hydrus, the India inks, and today we're going to use pearlescents. And these pearlescents are by Dale Rowney, and they are wonderful. They're in the fact that they don't move real well. They're similar to the India inks. So we're going to work with that and see what we can do. A couple of examples of them. This is one. This is an end product, and you'll see in this piece, and here I am already getting stuff on me, there are opalescent inks, and they twinkle and they shine and they move so nicely. So this is one, and it is finished. Here is another one that I did, and it has a piece of saran wrap across it to make it move, and it stays right where it is and you peel it off. Now this one really could be enhanced. It needs a little bit more. But when I first saw it, I thought, I think that is a turtle. But everybody's going to see something different. I just love it that it turns out to be something that is going to make your mind work. So let's start to have some fun. Of course, I am using 300-pound paper, and this is Fabriano, and it has such a great texture to it. And I am going to wet it down, just like I always do. Pull my sleeves up, because you know I'm going to get my arms in it. I'll switch it over this way. Now, you'll notice all the time that I've been doing this so far, I've been doing it on a towel. It's going to be coming up eventually that I'm going to do it with saran wrap underneath, and we're going to show how it pulls toward the center. These have all been pulling out, and these others that we'll be doing in the future will be pulling in. So we're going to start out like I have before, and I'm going to do my sprays of my paints. I'm going to work with blues and greens and turquoise and yellows. The combinations are endless, so I'm just starting with two colors that I'm spraying. Now I'm going to come in with some purple. I just love purple. It's one of my favorites too. And these are with the Hydrus. And we know they just... No, this isn't Hydrus. These are the Radiance, because look how they move. You knew immediately I was wrong, because you could tell these are moving, and they move so much better than the Hydrus. And even if I need to, I can make them move even more by spraying. But the fun thing too that you can do that's a little different than I've done before, I take my straw, I bend it, you know, that's so that you can drink and when you're laying down, but we're not laying down on this job. And I can move my paint the way I want to. You don't even have to use a brush. So I came and I used that. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to move to the Hydrus. I'm going to put some nice bright blue. And we know this one doesn't move quite as much as the other, does it? No, it doesn't. Then I'm going to come in with some greens. We're using a lot of different colors today. I don't usually. And this one is Bombay ink. Now, what's neat about Bombay ink, before we used white, and of course we can see that white moving like everything, but if you look at this, because it's so wet, it is moving. Now, I came down with it and I moved it across, but if I had just dropped it, look what happens there. It moves. Now, if it doesn't move enough, what do? We come in. If you drop water in these spots, it's going to move even more. And while I'm teaching this, sometimes I know it starts out one way and ends another. I love this part right here. It is so good. So now I'm going to come in, and I think I've got to use this blue. I'm going to come in with purple too. But these are the pearlescents, and they're liquid, but they work entirely different. So sometimes they will just stay put where you put them, which is nice. Or if you want, you can move them. So many different ways. If you want to move them just in one small area, you use a small spritzer. If you want it moving in a large area, use your big brush. Now I'm going to come in. This is a wonderful color. It is so much fun to use. Look at how bright that is. It is a yellow-green. It just brightens up the whole day. Then you want to make sure you always wash those out, because this stuff, where it is, it stays in all your brushes or anything you put it in. Then I'm going to come in and put purple in. Now I know you're thinking, boy, she is really putting in a lot of colors here. And kind of in the same place, you know. Wonder why she isn't moving out farther. Well, I have an answer to that. So when I'm working on these, sometimes I come in and I put saran wrap, sometimes I put wax paper, sometimes you've done it with me before with the gauze, and the gauze makes such a large difference. And you sit and watch it for a few minutes, and if it doesn't move, then you want to come in and just put some more white water in. So today, I am going to take this, and just like the one that I showed you, the last one that I showed you earlier, I'm going to put saran wrap in. Now, that time I took it across here, but is there anything that is said that you have to, I like to crinkle it too, it's always nice to crinkle it, that you have to put it in all the way across? Maybe you just want to, and then I just bring it in and crinkle it all up and put it in here. So when I do that, what am I doing? I am moving stuff. Can I move it on here? You are so correct. I can even take this and I can move it around. Now, when we do things, we always know we don't want to pull it to the top, to the corners. And maybe this, I just want to bunch it up a little bit. And maybe I'll bring this down some. Look, if there's a couple little lone souls out there, but that's okay. Now I can come back in if I want to around this and add even more color if I wanted to. If I don't like the way it's just hanging there, what do I do? Yes, that's right. I put water on it. I use so much water, I run out of it very rapidly. So these little spritzers are so nice to have. They're little bitty ones. And you can find these at Michael's. So now I look at the piece and I say, does it have 3 values? Yes, it does. And the fact that it's white out here is just fine. So now I'm going to let this dry. And because it has saran wrap on it, that means it's going to take it even longer to dry. And after the outside starts to dry, you can move it off of this if you want to and get it on a dry surface, which means it'll dry a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. You saw some finished pieces, so you have an idea of what it's going to be. But what you need to do now is do what I did and go out and have fun. So please today, make this day a masterpiece. Thank you so much.